Voice training. I'm sorry to start this episode off with a jump scare, but voice training isn't easy. That's why I've condensed information and exercises to make this video as easy as possible for you to access it. This video is going to have 3 sections. The first one's going to be theory, as in how this works. Second's going to be some exercises that are actually very easy for you to use. And the third's going to be your overall workflow. How the hell do we make this work? Well, to break it down very simply for you, when you use your vocal cords, that sound passes through your throat and your mouth. Well, with a wide space, your voice is going to sound deeper. With the small space, it's going to sound higher. That's called resonance. Resonance is essentially just the space that sound bounces around in. So what we want to do is modify that space, and that's going to involve raising your larynx, modifying mouth space, as well as some muscles in the throat. Now, those are the key components. There are a few extras on the side that are much easier and much more simpler, like your breath and your overall posture, but do take note that as complicated as this might sound, what I'm going to do for you is give you exercises to simply work out the muscles at play, and then when you try to emulate other female voices and do my further exercises down the road, it's going to be very easy and in fact second nature for you. And when I say further exercises down the road, I don't mean future videos, I mean the workflow in the third part of this video. Let's start with what people find to be the most difficult, and that's raising your larynx. Well, I've taken a lot of time to find the perfect exercise to make this as easy as possible, and I've even tested that with some trans women. This is that exercise. Step 1, you're going to want to have a proper posture. Don't overdo it, just stay comfortable, proper posture. Step 2, gently place your finger at the tip of your larynx, or otherwise known as your Adam's apple. Step 3, stick your tongue out and say and then hold the muscles in place after the sound. Let's do it together. Holding the muscles in place, specifically in the throat and your tongue. Step 4 is going to leapfrog off of step 3. So you're going to say hold the muscles in place, bring your tongue back in for step 4, and further flex those muscles while still gauging the larynx. And if that raises up and back, congratulations, you've raised your larynx. To help simplify the idea of further tensing those muscles, you're going to want to clench your tongue and lift the base of it towards the roof of your mouth. So we'll do it with me now. Holding the muscles in place, tongue's back inside the mouth. Further flex the muscles. For step 5, you're going to realize that it might be difficult to breathe through your mouth, and that means you need to breathe through your nose. So step 5 is going to be breathe through your nose for a bit with your muscles tensed, and then gently loosen them so much that you can breathe through your nose and your mouth at the same time. This might take some trial and error, okay? But just like the anime protagonist that I know you can be, you're gonna put yourself through that trial and error, allow yourself to fail until eventually you get those small W's that get you to your big W. That's not the only exercise, okay? Don't be getting your hopes up. We have more work to do. Don't leave. This exercise is actually a lot simpler. So if you got that larynx down already, then this is going to be a cakewalk for you. Arytenoid muscles. These muscles control the tension and spacing of the vocal cords. Controlling these can help you achieve a better non-breathy voice. A clearer non-breathy voice. I recommend not worrying about the technical jargon. Just do the exercises, get the muscles in play, and then eventually it'll kind of just all click. But if technical jargon is how you learn, then that's why I'm going to include it. I promise I won't do it like that again. So how do we practice this clear, non-breathy voice? Well, you're going to speak as though you're speaking from a sigh and gently transition to a normal voice and then back to a sigh. This is going to help you understand the tension and relaxation of your vocal cords. Let's try it together. And because I'm so cool, I'm going to do it in my deep voice and my femme voice, so you have both examples to use. We're going to use the sentence, seriously, sweets are so tasty. We're going to go from breathy to deep and back. Seriously, sweets are so tasty. Seriously, sweets are so tasty. Seriously, sweets are so tasty. Inhale again. Seriously, sweets are so tasty. 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 You'll likely notice some contractions in the lower area of your throat. That's natural, and actually that's what you're looking for. Now, you will notice that the entire time I had a smile, it's not because I'm manic
or going to steal your plushies. It's actually because when you have a smile,
your voice sounds a bit brighter. Seriously, sweets are so tasty. 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 Inhale. Seriously, sweets are so tasty. 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 The idea is the entire time you should be exhaling. Next, your favorite muscle, the pharyngeal constrictor muscles. Yes, the one everyone talks about at Thanksgiving dinner because it's so interesting. The muscle that can help with resonance, making your voice sound brighter or darker. This is actually a very cool exercise. It's going to include humming and isolating where you feel the major vibrations of that hum to begin with. When you start humming, you're probably gonna feel the vibrations in your chest. Well, the idea is to move that vibration up your throat to your face and then start speaking right after. Let's do it together. I'll do it in my male voice for this. Okay. Yo, what's up, dude? Yo, what's up, dude? Yo, what's up, dude? This is me working it with my femme voice. I'll start from my top down to my chest and then back up. Yeah, and this is my voice after it's in the chest area, kind of. A bit hard to get it there. It's actually kind of plateauing at the bottom of my throat. Honestly, why are you still watching this video? Next exercise! Tongue position matters. In fact, the tongue plays a pivotal role in voice quality. What you're gonna wanna do is say, E. Feel where that tongue is. Now, try and say other vowels with that elevated tongue. Don't let the tongue fall down. This is going to take a bit of practice, but it's going to help you immensely. So again, just say E, and then O, A, trying to keep the tongue still raised. That concludes the exercises for the muscles that you're going to be using in these videos. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to adjust your pitch. And the reason for that is because when people start practicing pitch, they start relying on it too much as opposed to the more difficult but effective aspects being the muscles that we just train. And these exercises can and should be done every day so long as you're not straining yourself or overexerting yourself. Because again, even though you probably don't even remember the second exercise that I gave you, that doesn't matter. It's about isolating the muscles and training them so that way when you utilize them down the road in this next section, it's going to be a lot easier. In other words, when you try to emulate a female voice and you know the muscles and components at play, your brain will do the work for you. You just need to listen to the sound of your voice and the sound of their voice. And when I say emulate female voice, I mean mimicking another female's voice. That's the section we're getting into right now. Welcome to workflow. So for workflow, I've mentioned already a few times imitating another female's voice. Well, there's two voices that I want you to imitate in this video. Number one is going to be Stitch, because Stitch actually utilizes every muscle category needed to achieve a passable female voice. And the second, I'm going to give you a few samples of my voice. So what I recommend doing, like let's say you come back to this video tomorrow, do those exercises, try to emulate Stitch for like 2 minutes, and then emulate my voices afterwards. As well, I'm going to be using a range of tones for you to start from lower to higher, all in the fem region. When emulating my voice, just make sure that you're not leaning on pitch, that you're using the muscles in your throat, your larynx, etc., etc. It's going to be difficult at first, but trust me, you're going to get used to it. Starting in the lower range. Seriously, sweets are still ill. Seriously, sweets are still ill. Seriously, sweets are still ill. I'm going to try an androgynous tone for you. Seriously, sweets are still ill. Seriously, sweets are still ill. Seriously, sweets are still ill. Now speaking in a higher femme voice. Seriously, sweets are still ill. Seriously, sweets are still ill. Seriously, sweets are still ill. And speaking in the highest brightness that I can. Seriously, sweets are still ill. Seriously, sweets are still ill. Seriously, sweets are still ill. And finally, Ezekiel's voice.
I apologize for lack of a suit. It's the alpha males that cry about it. Seriously, sweets are still ill. Seriously, sweets are still ill. Seriously, sweets are still ill.
You may have noticed I said some weird things when switching to Ezekiel's voice. It's the alpha males that cry about it specifically. Well, it's not because I'm trying to farm Republican tears. I actually have set phrases that help me jump towards voices. Like my male voice, I'll say, yo, hey, yo, yo, yo. Really trying to get awes to open the space. And then, seriously is my mid-range, and is how I get to my very high voices. The yo, 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 yo for the dude voice, wide space. Seriously tightens a bit of the spaces up, and then is really good with tightening the throat muscles and all of the spaces together once you have the muscles at play working well. Which brings me to my next point in the workflow. When you're training, you're going to want to isolate specific sentences that are going to be easiest for you to get to specific tones. That's going to make it so much easier in your training because muscle memory will kick into place once you start getting progress with these specific sentences. And then you can use those sentences when you're training or in your day-to-day life to retune your voice. Finally, you made it to this point. I'm proud of you. But we're not done yet. The last point is in fact the most difficult to accept, and that is that you're gonna have to record your voice. I know, it sucks. That's why I gave you the jump scare at the beginning, to make this easier to swallow for you. Not like the buckets that I swallowed. Let me try that again. You're gonna have to record your voice. And there's a few reasons for that. First, it gives you objective feedback. You need to hear what you sound like. You don't want to lean on other people's opinions because people might be too nice, and that's actually going to hinder you. Second, when you are recording, you want to save the best sound files because there are some sessions that you might get a lot of progress in and like the way that you sound by the end of it. And the next session, that might all be out the window because you kind of just lost that mentally. But having a sound sample of your voice that is more effeminate than it currently is like a stepping stone in the direction that you need to go. It's like laying a brick down on the path to your success. In the end, this all takes practice, but it is 100% possible no matter how impossible you think it is. You have to have faith in yourself here, and you have to have the discipline to do it when you don't feel like it, because a lot of the time, you're not going to feel like it, so don't wait for that magical motivation moment. Light a fire in your stomach, and don't take no for an answer, okay? You give yourself this if this is what you want in your life. If it's not what you want, then I understand and respect that. But if this is what you need in your life, then who are you to say no? I 100% have faith in you, and you can do this so long as you, first of all, believe, and second of all, put in the time. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I wish you the best. Bye!